wish every children a happy Children's Day. So we, on this 14th of November, right, Children's Day, we are going live with BabyChakra. And the topic for today is importance of educational toys and games. So myself, Reenu Kedia, founder of brand Ile-Learn-Grow, which is into educational toys and games. We have 50 plus products in our bracket. And I'm happy that today Dr. Shradha and Ms. Ruchi have joined the session along with me for discussing important topic, which is importance of educational toys and games. Before I begin, I want to give a just brief introduction about what BabyChakra does. And BabyChakra is a parenting app, right, for the parents, and it's a one-stop, basically the platform for pregnant women and expected parents who can just gather valuable information around the various topics which are research based. So having said that, on that note, I will like to kick today's test session, which is around importance of educational toys and games. Now, I would like to welcome Dr. Shradha first to introduce herself.
Okay, I'm Dr. Shradha Patel. I'm a pediatrician working at I'm also a pediatric intensivist, so basically babies as well, and that is it.
Okay, so thanks, Shradha, for introducing yourself. But now I would like Miss Ruchi ma'am to introduce herself.
Hi, thank you, Reenu. Hi, I'm Ruchi Manek. I'm a psychologist practicing out of Mumbai, Madonna. I deal with children having any kind of issues and any parents having issues raising their children and adults. So basically a counseling psychologist. Thank you.
Okay, so now the audience, what do you understand by educational toys and games? So let me give you a brief idea what educational toys is all about. So we have grown up with various toys like around, and we like playing indoor games. Now, what we believe is educational toys are those that help gain knowledge not through books but through toys, right? And learning can be fun, right? While fun, and the child loves playing with the mom, dad, it drives teamwork, it drives problem solving abilities, it also drives cognitive skills, right? And the global know-how. So educational toys are those which help develop all these skills among the children. Now let's start with a few questions from our experts today, right? So first question I would like to ask from Dr. Shradha, what kind of toys are educational and why they are important?
So, educational toys, like you said, that every toy is important. So, social, interactive, cognitive, educational skills. So, any toy a child plays along with social interaction is going to help the child better. Basically, what I'm trying to say is social interaction is an important gist with the help of child is playing alone rather than that. If a child is playing a toy with his friends, that is going to help. That is first of all, because nowadays I've seen that bombarded with toys, but then they're playing it alone. So that is number one. I would like to emphasize on give an example for various toys. For example, we used to play with Lego long back, right? So Lego toys, at different age group, when the child learns to play, they're going to move around a toy, they're going to try to break something. So that is going to help in spatial orientation, in interaction, castle or something. So they're going to narrate it. So the child will learn various skills like narrative skills. Spatial orientation will help the child later. The child will definitely, the child is into school in skills like maths, later on engineering. So I would consider. Secondly, games like puzzle or crosswords, scramble and all those games. So you're arranging words, you're trying to frame a word, you're thinking. So even this is another example for toy, multiple domains: social, emotional, interactive, right? So
That's a great that's a great advice, and that is a great importance of educational toys that you have explained. Thanks for that Dr. Shradha. Now moving on to the next question, I will ask from the second expert of ours, which is Miss Ruchi. Will these educational toys help the child in his academics?
All kind of toys would help your child in academics, whether you know it'll basically help your child with problem solving, because when he's stuck with a particular toy, how do you go about it is what is replicated in your maths and everything else. In science, when you're experimenting with toys, like you do something and it breaks, that's engineering. You do something and some other reaction comes out, that's science. Okay, so math, science, when you're trying to communicate while playing with somebody, as she rightly said, your social skills are developing, that's English. Every language is, rather, not only English, but any toy that you pick is going to help your child in studies. And it's also going to because they love playing, and it gives them a mental space of relaxation, that also helps them in studies. So my recommendation will be, if you have a particular study time for your child, especially at home, make sure you give them some playtime right before, active playtime right before studies. That will help them to focus on their studies better then. So
Okay.
in every ways, any toy that you pick up for your child is going to help them study.
Yeah. So the second question that we will have for Dr. Shradha would be, do you think that toys and games help in the development of the child?
yes, obviously, and always, I would say every toy is development. Let us first say, like in less than 1 year of the age, the child is different milestones in social, cognitive, motor milestones. Game, if you give like a newborn or a child less than 6 months, 1 year, a rattle objects. So that is, these are these small multiple tactile stimuli brain develop. Okay, when the child later grows on, if you give them like a doll game or get into a character game, so they are going to learn. If we used to play with kitchen sets, so if the child is given something related to that, it is also going to develop them into individual personality, and they're going to understand things. So that way, different games and different toys are there for particular, obviously, and for sure help in development. For example, for motor development, there are certain, and the child is dragging the wheel with the rope. So the child is trying to move. The child is trying. So that is also going to help with his motor development. A little bit of competitive spirit. The child might fall. So all these domains work together at a time in a particular time.
Okay. Thanks. Valuable input around the development, that how toys and games can help develop the child. Now, moving on to the second question for Miss Ruchi. What are the benefits of the educational toys and games, right? So, educational, we mean that what helps the child in learning. So, what are the benefits attached to it? We would like to
The
understand.
benefits are numerous. First of all, I would like to emphasize again that all toys, whether educational, your child is going to learn from any toy you give him. Okay, so they
Exactly.
must be open ended. Okay, you can be able to use a single toy in multiple ways, and we as parents must not restrict them to use a toy in a particular way. So, for example, if you buy your child a Hot Wheels tracks, it's not necessarily going to be used for cars. They're going to put marbles on it, they're going to put it in the sand, they're going to use it as a scale or anything else. Okay,
Absolutely.
so give them the freedom to explore. Usually we go one toy at a time. That you remove only one toy, you put it back, and then you remove the other. Okay, give them the freedom to mix all their toys together and see what comes out. They'll make a bridge with some animals and things like that. So all this is the benefit of toys, the creativity that a child can explore, and the way he can express himself through that creativity. will be surprising you. So make sure you give them open-ended toys. Make sure the toys are gender neutral. So not specifically that you expose a boy only to cars and blocks and tool sets, and a girl to dolls and Barbie sets and kitchen toys. Because at this time itself, we are gender stereotyping them that this is what you're expected to play with. Most of the time, we don't even give them the opportunity. Even in birthdays, they just get those kind of toys. So, as parents, we must go out and buy toys that are not stereotyped. Like only if you buy a tool set for your daughter will you know whether she's liking it and expressing herself with it. So, yeah, that's my.
Okay. So that's a very good answer, Ruchi. I like to add a little bit to it since I am the founder of the brand as well. What we believe in, and that the when you introduce a child a toy, right, at 6 months, right, he start developing a motor skills, right, and as and then it progresses, right, once he reach 1.5 year, his pencil skills gets developed, right, writing skills. So these are the benefits which also add that as soon as you introduce them to the toys and games, as sooner you will get definitely a good benefit out of the his development, yeah, his problem solving or his cognitive skill enhancement, right? So now we have a few questions from the audience, and we would like to basically ask the audience now, are these toys and games one time use? Because most of the parents feel that it's a one time use. We would like to understand from the audience.
Is that directed to me?
No, it's directed to the audience.
Okay.
How should we? Yeah.
You. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
I thought you were asking the audience.
okay.
That's
So
why
I
I
thought
asked you
it's an
directly.
audience also. Yeah.
Okay. Toys being one-time use. Again, my emphasis is on open-ended toys. When you buy an open-ended toy, it's never going to be one-time use. Even if you buy a toy which is aged for a 1-year-old child, which are like, just giving an example, the rainbow blocks, they're going to be used up till the child is 10 years old, because even they will at say for the second grade they will learn fractions through that. At the age of 1 year they're just learning how to maybe coordinate them color wise, okay, but over time they will be learning fractions with them. They will be learning so much more with the same toy. So the toy you pick is very important. So try not to buy those literally one time kind of use toys. Okay, buying open ended toys is a great investment. They may seem expensive in the beginning, like blocks and wooden toys, especially, but their use is going to be multi purpose for a long time. Having said that, again, one time use is based on how we as parents treat them. If we tell our child that this toy is supposed to be used only in this way, we're making it one time use, but the child is going to get bored. Okay. So the same board game can be twisted, can be changed. The rules can change. The fonts can change on it. You can keep, making it more dynamic and let your child guide you through it. So whenever your child is playing and he is making something which does not follow the particular instructions, don't get paranoid. Arey, it's written to be like that. You can't do that. Let him explore. Let's see how he or she is playing the game.
Yeah.
In that case, then none of your toys will be one time.
Okay. So this is for Dr. Shradha, or anyone can answer, maybe any games that can be done with home equipment. I think you can answer. I think.
Okay.
Ms. Ruchi.
Games to be made with home.
Hello.
Yeah. Should I answer that?
Yeah, you can answer it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, I would like all of you listening here to do an experiment as to give anything that's in your house to a child to play with, be it spoons, be it katoris, or anything. Okay. Usually, what we do is we aim at very expensive, pretty looking branded toys, but land up seeing that your child, as you might as well even say that the smallest thing you've cried over and bought and you're playing with like crazy, like be it an eraser or a sharpener or something like that. Okay. So from a child's perspective, the cost of the toy is not important. From where you procure is not important. How interesting it is important. So even if you get an Amazon box as your delivery box, you just use that to do something creative out of it, like make it into a fish pond or use it as poking sticks, appropriate to your child, of course. Instead of buying fancy books, let them read whatever is written on the box, let them read instruction manuals, let them explore things like that. Whatever is available in the house, whatever is easily available in the house, you give them that to play with, to construct set of rubber bands, a U-pin. They will come up with something with that. You just let them be, and they will surprise you again. So there are multiple toys you can make, and there are a lot of ideas on Pinterest and things like that, which show you, if you have the time to be creative, to make those toys and hand it over to your child. But even if you don't have that much of time, interest, or energy to invest in, just make sure you have things available for your child around the house, and they will pick up and learn.
Great. You gave me a great idea, Ruchi, to just make something out of the Amazon box. So that's
Yeah,
a
that's my son's favorite. He will not let me dispose anything out. He will literally
yeah,
make all toys based out of those boxes.
yeah, absolutely. So now anyone can take this also. That's a generic question. So lot of apps are there on educational games, right? Do you feel that all are the same? Dr. Shradha, if you want to answer, you can. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. No. I think Miss Ruchi, you can take it now. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Could you just repeat the question?
Yeah. So the question was, there are a lot of apps available in the market around educational games, right?
Right.
So do you feel all are the same?
No, I wouldn't say all are the same, but they all are doing the similar thing, which is making education more interesting for the kids, because everything is online now. Kids have studied online. Very young kids have studied online, so they know how to maneuver a laptop and an iPad very easily. So something that may be boring for them to do on a pen and paper gets more exciting to do on an iPad, where you just drag and drop, and it's more colorful, it is more interactive, so kids enjoy that for sure. Having said that, the amount of those apps and games that we use must be kept to a minimum, because once a child is so used to that stimulus of everything being so attractive and things like that, it becomes difficult for them to sit with a pen and paper when they have to solve a worksheet. Because in the worksheet, it's not going to say, "Yay, well done" to you while you're doing it. Okay, so which an app is going to say to you, and that is not sustainable. That's not how your school is going to teach them forever. So the apps and all of that is good as an aided tool to learning. To, for example, if you're, again, age appropriate based on your child's age, if you're say teaching them capital and low uppercase and lowercase, okay, you do that with and you do that with a physical sheet along with an app is helpful, but doing that only on an app is not something that is recommended.
Okay.
Um, okay. Am I audible now? I think there's
Yeah,
some
yeah.
problem with our connection. So
No,
sorry.
no problem.
Okay.
No problem, Dr. Shraddha. You are now audible,
Yes.
and I would like you to just add few about it. Ki how the toys with the toys, with educational toys, you can avoid reducing the screen time for the children. So we would like to hear from you how you can avoid, from the educational toys and games, you can avoid screen time for your child.
So, basically, playing with toys must be fun. The child should enjoy playing with toys. Right now, things have shifted from toys to apps and maybe screen time watching games, because that is a lot easier for them. Or maybe they're just too alone and they have a device and they start playing. So, be like I told you in my first point, also there has to be some person with the kids. Like the mother has to actually sit and play with the child. So playing games with the child would actually for sure shift from screen time to playing the games. That is how we can decrease screen time. And I feel the maximum screen time allowed can be only up to one or 1.5 to 2 hours. So that also after around 4 to 5 years of age, not before that. So we need to really stop distracting, or maybe stop using the phone or a screen time as a distracting tool. Like if a child is not eating, there has to be a fun way or a fun game sort of a activity done to make the child eat, and not just give up on the child and give a phone so that the child would eat properly. So small little different efforts need to be made for that.
Okay. So thanks, Dr. Shradha, for your valuable input. Now I would like first Dr. Shradha to give a takeaway message from this session. Uh, yeah, over to you, Dr. Shradha.
So my message is, you do not need to be very worried, or you do not need so many very specific toys. Anything around you, anything in the house can work as a toy as far as the child is active. Even in the younger children, a katori and a spoon and banging, making music with that can act as a toy. So let the children play and explore things around them and make them use as toys. So number one, and second, I would highly recommend parents and motivate them to reduce the screen time for the children, because a lot of screen time is affecting their development gradually.
Yeah. So now I would like Ms. Ruchi to hear from her. What are her takeaway from this session? Takeaway message that you want to give.
My takeaway from this session again would be to emphasize on buying open-ended toys. Okay, like buy toys that can be used in multiple ways. One, give your child the freedom to explore the way he or she wants to play rather than interfering as to this is the only way you can play with this toy. Thirdly, buy gender neutral toys, toys which are not specific for certain gender, and especially go out and buy like a kitchen set for your boy or tool set for your girls and cars. Let them have that experience in the first place, because it's not like your daughter at 18 or 20 is not going to drive a car, and it's not that your son is not going to ever get into the kitchen. So please, it's the way they will learn. So please expose them to all kind of toys. Fourth would be that when a child is playing, if you can make it more interesting for them by being there, great. As Ms. Shradha said, being involved in a child's play is important, and also not getting overwhelmed while playing, saying that this is the way you play. Play means it's a free time. Play means it's play. Okay, nowadays there are classes to even make you play. Okay,
Fun time.
go to this class
It's
to
fun
learn
time.
to play. Play is not something that you learn. Play is something that's your free time. It's for you to explore, be happy. So there is no winning and losing. That is, if your child is losing in a particular game, strategize, do this, do that. No, let them be, let them breathe, let them play, let them actually have fun through those games. And yeah, that's about it. Have fun while playing. Play equals fun.
Yeah.
Which will, it does not take the learning away though. When you have fun, that's when you learn the most.
Yeah. Well said, Ms. Richu. It's a great takeaway that definitely while playing you learn the most,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So that is what the message. Being a
And also
founder.
tell you the reason why you learn the most while playing, because all your senses are involved. Your sight is involved. Your ears are involved because you're hearing the other person. You're touching things. So all your senses are involved rather than passively just reading or passively understanding. So when all your five senses are involved, the learning that happens is going to be way greater than only one or two sentences.
Yeah. And one thing I would like to add here as well, that when you play, right, with your child, there is a bond that a child and a parent make out of it, right? Because that is the quality time you are spending with the child. He knows you, you know him or her, right? So that is the teamwork that is required. So when we play, for example, Monopoly, right? So we know how to strategize, right? And the strategy that we want to develop with that toy. So that is required. Simultaneously, some of the toys that you play with your child, help them develop a very good cognitive skills, which will definitely help them in focusing on their academics as well, right? So when you play, the cognitive skills are developed of the child with these learning toys, right? That helps. So that is important. Simultaneously, as Dr. Shradha said, definitely motor skills as early as they develop, that will help in good writing as well. People say मेरे बच्चे का हैंड राइटिंग अच्छा नहीं है, राइट? कैसे होगा अगर मोटर स्किल्स पहले से डेवलप नहीं है, तो राइटिंग तो अच्छा हो ही नहीं सकता ना. So that is the message that I want to give, the takeaway for this session. Having said that, uh, thanks for everybody, for especially our experts who have joined, taken time out from their valuable time to have an expert opinion about educational toys and games. I would like to thank them and the audience who have taken time to join the BabyChakra platform for valuable tips. And going forward, also they can join BabyChakra app for good, valuable videos, content, and research, which will help them being a very good parent. Parent is always good, but if you are in collaboration, in partnership with your child development, then definitely it helps. So BabyChakra definitely helps every parent to develop some research around different topics. So I would like to thank them as well. And I think that is what the session was all about. I hope you liked the session. And we request audience to download the BabyChakra app going forward for valuable things. Thanks, Dr. Shradha. Thanks, Ms. Ruchi, for joining this session.
Thank you. Thank you.